Alien Resurrection. This is a very peculiar Alien film. Did you ever want to see an Alien movie where Ripley nails three-pointers without even looking? Did you ever want to see an Alien movie with quippy Joss Whedon dialogue interpreted by a director that barely spoke English? Did you ever want to see an Alien movie with a xenomorph human hybrid with boobs? Well, me neither, but we have it. This movie isn't boring, but it's also not very good. Now, the interesting thing to me is that according to a bunch of interviews, the script itself is what a lot of people were really excited about.
The script is amazing.
So really, I read the first draft by Joss Whedon. I thought it was amazing.
It was a big script in Hollywood. The buzz about it was that it had some things that made it a worthwhile successor to all of these others.
The ideas in it are very moving, actually.
The whole reason Sigourney got involved in this fourth one was because the script was so good.
You know, we read their script and we thought, well, this is just going to ruin this franchise. This just doesn't work at all.
So it makes you wonder, were people just excited about the script because it was fresh and different? Joss Whedon was one of the hot screenwriters of the mid-90s after doing some rewrites on both Speed and Toy Story, and neither one of those projects or his specific skill set would seem like an obvious fit for the Alien franchise, but he wrote a script that a bunch of people were excited about. And then they paired up that script with an artsy French director. And it just doesn't seem like either one of their strengths complements the other. In fact, the specific things that each of them are good at seem to be in direct competition to what the other is doing, where one kind of has this wink at the camera, self-awareness, jokey nature to it, and the other is trying to pull out all of the artistic merit from every moment. Those are just two wildly different approaches to the material, and I think you feel that throughout the entire film. It's just an odd mix. And on paper, there's actually a number of things here that aren't bad ideas. The idea of the corporation using cloning to try and bring back xenomorphs, kind of interesting. A group of mercenaries are a great batch of characters to put up against xenomorphs because they're not soldiers, but they are characters able to put up a fight against xenomorphs, and it leads to at least one great sequence where they're swimming underwater, holding their breath, trying to outswim xenomorphs. Great sequence for the franchise. But the tone is just so off. The Joss Whedon quippy dialogue, these types of characters that are just shouting all the time, they don't fit in this universe, so it's just off. And then beyond that, all of that was kind of maybe off, but kind of fun. Where the movie really loses me, it probably would be a couple spots higher on the list just by pure schlocky fun. The last 15 minutes where it just feels like it goes completely off the rails.
Jean-Pierre and I spent some time refining the script and figuring out what the climax was going to look like.
Everything worked except the ending. It was a big problem with the ending. We wrote maybe 5 different endings.
And you have Ripley cuddling with the alien. And then we get our alien hybrid. I'm not a particularly big fan of the hybrid direction to take things. This is the most sympathetic of our aliens in these movies because he has such sad-looking eyes. But it's just like idea tossed in at the end that doesn't really serve much of a purpose. It doesn't feel set up enough, and then it just kind of ends so abruptly. And Joss Whedon even kind of talked about that balance and trying to play it safe while pushing boundaries, and I would say this hybrid went too far.
My responsibility is to scare myself and then to be true to the lore and how everything works without corrupting that, so that the real diehard fans can appreciate how much further we've taken it without corrupting it.
So I don't think this is a particularly good Alien movie, but because it is high energy, action based, and it does kind of have at least some humor to it, it's a more watchable bad Alien movie.